Hey y'all, how's it growing? Welcome back to my channel. This is Everyday Gardening with Erica, and today I'm very excited to share two things with you. One, I actually went to a 99-cent store and picked up a few things that are garden related that I thought I would share with you. So consider it a mini garden haul at the 99-cent store. And secondly, I have been dying to show you the garden recently. So there's been a lot of growth since the last time that I've shown you the garden tour, and I'm really excited to share a few things that are new in the garden as well. So let's jump right into it. For those of you who don't know, I am actually waiting to have a house built, and so I am temporarily staying at this little mini cabin. We've been here since the middle of March, and it's not very big. It's like 400 square foot home with myself, my husband, my almost 7-year-old son, and 3 dogs. So not only are we quarantined, we're quarantined in a place that's not really ours. So it's been a challenge, but I've tried to pour a lot of my time and energy into the things that I do enjoy, and gardening is certainly one of those things. So I will show you a little bit on what we've got going on in our containers, but before we do that, let me share with you what I found at the 99-cent store. So first thing that I thought was super cute, and I don't know if this is going to last very long, honestly, was this hat. Look at this cute little garden hat. Now, right off the bat, one of the things I love about this hat is it's got this leopard print scarf thing, and I am a big fan of leopard print. So I'm hoping that this may be a fun, inexpensive, temporary solution until I find something a little bit better, because I'm not really sure what my garden look is. Everybody's got a look, right? Some do ball caps, some do garden hats, some do bandanas, some don't do anything. I don't really know what my thing is, but anyway, I thought this would be a nice little hat. But this was only $2.49, so not bad, $2.50. Now, the cool thing and the funny thing about this hat is it does come with this elastic strap. Do you see that? So it's very functional, don't you think? So if it's windy, which I tell you it's windy out here all the time, I think it's gonna work. But I'm gonna look kind of silly, most likely. Let's put it on, let's try it out. I almost feel like I'm wearing a sombrero with this little... Now, if you don't know that this is here, how cute is this? Hold on, let me hide it. Is it cute? Is it worth it? $2.50? What do you think? I mean, this is a little bit annoying. But again, I think it would totally fly off if I didn't have this. It would just, I don't know. Anyway, tell me what your thoughts are. $2.50? Worth it? Not worth it? All right. Next thing that I wanted to share with you, I found these cute pot stands with wheels. Do you see that? And it comes on the back with the little wheels here. It's made of wood, and these were $1.99, so $2, right? I thought this was totally worth $2, even if it's just to try it for a little while. Now, right now, the surface that I have on our porch this isn't gonna work. This would be great for concrete surfaces or solid surfaces. So I'm probably gonna try this out at the new house. So if it works out, I'll let you know. If it doesn't, then you know not to buy it. But I got 2 of these. I thought, definitely worth a try for $2 a piece, right? Yeah. Okay, the last thing I got were these self-watering plant feeders. I'm gonna show you the package from the 99-cent store, and they were $1.49, and you pull these things out, and this is kind of like, how can I describe this? Almost like a clay. So I guess the water kind of soaks in this thing, and you stick it into the ground, and then you put a bottle of water and you put it in your pots. So I didn't have any bottles until recently. I ran out of shampoo, and it just so happens to be the perfect size. Look at this thing. Can you imagine if this works? I don't know. So I'm gonna stick it into the pots and see how this works. I mean, for $1.50, if this ends up working out really well, I'm gonna get a bunch of these, especially for the containers, right? Because where I'm at, it's really hard. I don't have a hose. I can't really hook up to a hose or a water faucet to water my plants. So everything I water is by hand with little jugs. This would be great if it can save me some time watering. So I'll let you know how these work out. Pretty cool, right? All right. I didn't want to spend too much at the Dollar Tree, or not the Dollar Tree, the 99-cent store, so I thought we could give a couple of products a shot and see how they work out. If I find any other places that I buy a bunch of gardening stuff, maybe we could do this again and just do it on a grander scale. Let me know if you'd be interested in those kind of things. All right, let's jump into the garden tour because that's what I'm super excited about. Are you ready? Let's go. So here we are at the side of the house. If you recall, I mentioned that we were back behind here at one point, which is great in the mornings because it has some shade, but the evening sun was just too brutal for these plants. So right now what they're doing is they're getting the morning sun, and in the evening they get shade. So this seems to be working out a lot better. Let's start over here with the peppers. So these are the Tam jalapeno peppers from Baker Creek, and there are quite a few of peppers on here. See those? So they're doing really well. And then this next one is the Korean peppers. So my mom and I went to the Korean store and they had a bunch of seeds, various vegetables and stuff that they use in their cuisines. And I picked up these Korean peppers and they are almost ready. I mean, look how long that is. It's kind of gonna be as long as my hand before I can pull it. Oh, here's one back here. Look at this one. Whoa, this one's really big. So Korean peppers are doing super duper awesome. The next batch over here are the mini bell peppers. And if you remember back when I first got these seeds, I was excited about these because these are like rainbow colored little mini bell peppers. And so they turn like red and orange and green and yellow. And so there's quite a few of these little ones on here. Now the first one that came up was this one. And look, it turned red. For the longest time, it just stayed there and it was just green. And I thought, well, maybe that's just a green one. But it finally turned a different color. I am so happy about that. So I'm curious how many other colors we're gonna get. I mean, there's a bunch of them on here you can see underneath. So fun. I can't wait to try those. The next batch over here is gonna be the shishito pepper. So these I fell in love with at a restaurant who kind of like open flame sauteed them, and with a little salt, a little olive oil, and some pepper. Oh, so good. So there's a bunch of these shishito peppers. They're funny because they're real wrinkly. Look, they wrinkle. So lots of shishito peppers loaded on there. Okay, this next one, this is the big leafed California Wonder regular size bell pepper, and this is the big one right here. Now I did notice that there's a spot. See that? So I gotta look into that and figure out what's going on. But I've got 3 of them on here. So these 2, and then there's one back here. So hopefully it doesn't have a disease, but it's not looking good if it has spots on it, right? So I'll have to check into that. The next batch over here, I believe, are these the Serranos? Yeah, these are the Serrano peppers. So I don't have a ton of Serranos on this one yet. There is a baby one right here. I don't see any others really. So the Serranos are taking a lot longer to produce than the others. And then these are mystery peppers. So I had some extras and I lost the little labels on them. So I have no idea what these are. For all I know, they're gonna cross-pollinate and I'm gonna have some kind of hybrid pepper. But so I experimented, just so you know, peppers, if you guys have looked into how to care for peppers, there's a lot of people that talk about pruning your peppers early on and essentially like snipping the tops of them off while they're young so that they bush out instead of growing up. And I was so afraid to do that. I didn't feel like I was ready for that yet, so I just let them go. And you can see the difference here because you see how tall these are. I pruned them up much like a tomato just because the leaves were getting to be a little too much and I didn't want them to get any diseases. So I did prune them up, but you can see how tall and lengthy they are as opposed to this one, which I experimented with and chopped the tops off. And these are a lot bushier. So from what I hear, this, although we have tons of peppers on these plants, this may be a one and done. I may not continually get more and more peppers because of the pruning situation. We'll find out. But this one, on the other hand, is supposed to be a constant yield. So it should be more than one batch of peppers. It's just gonna take a little bit longer, obviously, because they sat in these little cells. Remember I was telling you So they sat in these cells too long. So these are just starting to thrive. So that's the pepper story, but I'm very excited to start pulling some of these guys off and enjoying them. Down here is the mountain laurel. So there's been a couple of new leaves that have grown, but this is a very slow grower, so nothing exciting there. Right over here into the lettuce bed, I have harvested this red leaf lettuce and it is so delicious. We had some more sprouts come through and right over here as well. And then we did get a very heavy rain, and so the rain kind of messed up some of these leaves. But very, very good. So we're still getting some nice lettuce. It is getting a lot warmer, so they may bolt pretty soon. And then these are the spinach leaves that those caterpillars tore up, and they're starting to get some new leaf growth there. So maybe I might get lucky if the caterpillars leave them alone and I get to harvest some spinach. Okay, jumping on over, these are the onions. The onions here, again, have not really like started to bulb. They are getting a lot thicker, and of course the tops are looking really good. I really am anxious to start eating on these, but I'm gonna be very patient because onions, much like carrots, I'm sure take a long time, and I have to be a little bit more patient. The tomatoes in the back, so we have the Dr. Witchy's yellow over here. They have not come out with any fruit just yet. And then on this side are the cherry tomatoes called the yellow pear. But they do actually have some little yellow pear. Look, they're cute, aren't they? The way they're shaped like little pears. So they're gonna turn yellow. It's a funky looking one, looks like a gourd. They're gonna turn yellow and they're gonna be delicious. Okay, the cucumber plant again. You can see my shadow. I'm like, I don't know about this one. He's hanging on. I mean, I feed him regularly and water regularly, and so there are some healthy looking leaves, and then the bottom there's some not so healthy looking leaves. You can see the flowers. So who knows? We might get lucky. All right, I'm gonna scan right back over here in the beginning, and I wanted to show you something really cool. So I have, because of where we are, let me scan over here. So you can see there's a lot of farming property back here, and there's a home right back here, and I know that's kind of hard to see. There's a bunch of cows and stuff, and the owner of that house on the other side of this cabin came over and saw that I was gardening, and he said, hey man, I have got a bunch of these big old tubs that we use to feed the cows in if you want them for gardening. I'm like, yeah. And he even has holes in them. Can you see that? So he put holes in these buckets for me, and I've got 2 of them there. So these would be great big containers, maybe for potatoes or who knows. I don't have enough dirt right now to fill them up, but I'm gonna save them for the new house. But I'm so excited to have these big old containers. This is awesome, right? Okay, and looking at the front of the house, I wanted to show you a couple of new additions. I wanted to be enjoying some flowers this year, so I did buy some flowers. I've got these 2 galvanized buckets right here, and what I put in the center are these mandevilla vines, which this is new to me, but they're so pretty. I do need to get it a trellis. I don't have a trellis yet. I'm still looking for a trellis. And these beautiful plants, I didn't save the containers as usual. I'm so bad about that, so I couldn't tell you what these are. But I've had these before, and these do really well in the hot summers. So cute little container with the mandevilla vine and the flowers at the bottom. Over here, this is the gardenia bush. So I've read a lot about how when your gardenia bush has yellow leaves, that it's deficient on a couple of things. So I have been purchasing fertilizer that's more acidic for the soil to help get these leaves back to that dark, luscious green that I know they need to be. So this is kind of an experiment. I'm really trying hard to get this guy back into shape. So we'll see how that goes. And then over here, this is the okra sprouts that I planted recently. Oh, my shadow's in the way. And so they seem to be doing pretty good. I mean, they're a lot taller. The leaves are green. This one's a little yellow, but I'm thinking maybe that was before I put it into the ground. And this volunteered, but this is an oak tree. And I think these are annual flowers right here. I don't know. So I left them because I'm curious to see what happens. Okay, and then scanning over here, this is Granny's tree, the pecan tree. And I planted a bunch of flowers in the bottom. This is like a spiller that I planted, and another annual. Actually, I think this might, is this an annual? This might be a perennial. I've got to do better about this. And then this other galvanized container has another Mandevilla, but this is the bush variety, not the vine. I was hoping to get the vine, but I couldn't find any more. And got some really tall purplish blue flowers here, and some more pretty little pops of color at the bottom. So we got Pear Bear over here, who is getting chewed on by something. I sprayed some Neem's oil on the leaves in hopes to deter whatever's chewing on him, but he's doing really good. And then I moved my cherry tomato bucket over here, and look at my cherry tomatoes. How cool. These are ready to go. I mean, there's a bunch of them on here, you can see. These are starting to blush and turn, and there's some more back there. I'm just so excited to try my first tomato of the season. Last but certainly not least, these are also some more of the larger tomatoes, the beefsteaks and the Dr. Witchies. Again, I haven't seen anything on here sprout out. I mean, there's tons of flowers and stuff, but nothing yet. These bigger ones take a little bit longer probably. But I mean, they look good, they're healthy. Nice green, luscious leaves, full. And then here are the potatoes. Remember, these are those, oh, there's my shadow. These are the blue potatoes that we planted in that one video, and they're looking good. I'm keeping them out here so that way they can get a little bit more sun and dry out. I just don't want, we've gotten so much rain recently, and I just don't want them to get so moist that the potatoes start to rot. So that's why I put them out here in the sun to dry up a little bit. All right, well, that wraps up our little mini container garden tour. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the things that we've got growing in these containers. It just proves that you can grow in containers. I can't say that I like it as much as the raised beds thus far, and I have yet to try the in-ground gardening, but it can be done in a pinch. So hope you enjoyed that, as well as the little garden haul that I got from the 99-cent store. If you want to see more of that, let me know. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done that, and hit that notification bell there so that way as I get more videos posted, you know when they come through. All right, guys, well, thanks again for watching. Have a great one. Take care. Until next time.